Hello and welcome to another video. This week we are going to create a book cover for my story that I created using ChatGPT. It's about a man on Mars. First of all, let's set up the document size. I'm going to use 13 inches by 9 inches with the 300 dpi. So basically I'm going to show you how to create a cover as you will print it, not for web, right? So we're going to use color US. This is basically, if you want to print it, you should check this medium here. You should ask your supplier or your printer company, and then you can manage the color here. I'm going to use cyan, magenta, yellow, and black 8, and margins 1 inch, 1 inch, and at the bottom I'll keep more, and then I'll create it. Let's add some grids, guidelines. So I'm going to add typical center guidelines, and that's it. Let's import an image. So you go file, place, and I found here an image from Rodney Productions on Pexels, and that placed the image inside. Let's move it around, resize it a bit. Another thing that I'm going to do here is basically I'm going to swap, because here, let me show you. So here, this is your front page and this is your back. So you can see it as referenced, right? So when you print it, you need to take this in consideration, that the right is basically the front page. Let's click on the image, right click, transform, and you have flip horizontally. And then what we can do is make it something like this. So these two astronauts are in the center. Let's lock in the background. I think this is cool. Now we can add the text and that's it. Let's see what else we can do here. Right, so I've downloaded another image from Pexels. This one is from Felix Mittermeier and is an image with a nice sky. So what I want to do is try to replace the sky on Mars just a bit to see if it works. So I'm going to do like this. Let's see, we can go light, no, darken is quite good. And then we can add a mask as well. So you can see here we have masks. And we can, after that, go and take the gradient tool from here. So click on the gradient tool. And we can revert it, something like this. And you can see that our entire job was, easier only with the gradient. So that's cool, mostly because when you imagine having haze and so on, so it's good. I think we can leave it like this. Good as well. Okay, let's use average because it's more blended with the image. Okay, so I think that should be it. Let's add the text. Right, so I copied the summary. So we are going to add the summary here. So I created a frame text. You can see here it's a frame text. If you don't have this, you just need to click and hold actually, and then you'll change from artistic to frame tool text. The difference I'm going to show you right now, because I'm going to use artistic tool, is when I click this, then I can add just the frame for the text, that's it. But here on the frame tool text, you select and you tell him, I want my text to be exactly in this frame, and that's it. Let's change the font. Let's change this font. So I'm selecting the summary and I'm going to, we can add something cool or something very straightforward. Let's go like this. And John. Right, so you can see that now we have a background here white background on text. So to change that, you can go to Window, Text, Character, and from here you have the two colors, as you can see. Let me try to zoom in. Have the color and the background color. So from background color, let's keep it as this and reverse it, put a white here. I'd like to add a small edge, so basically the spine of the book. I'm going to add the rectangle, draw it from here to here, and let's see the size of it. So if you go to transform here below, if you don't see this, you can go to Window and you have transform. So now it's a 9" by 0.34. So let's go with 0.5" spine and just move it around. If your elements are not snapping to the grid, you have it here as an option. You know, force alignment, move to whole pixel, and snapping. So then if you click on this arrow down, you can see the entire snap to grid, snap to baseline, guidelines, and so on. So you can activate in terms of what you're using in the graph. Right, so this I'm going to use as reference because this is not going to be printed, but I'm going to have the title there on the spine. Let's lose it like this. And what else? We can add the paragraph as well. So text, paragraph, and just try to align it, justify, say something like this or like this. Yes, this works better. And then we can center it. Let's go and delete this back and front. So backspace, click on the layer, front, backspace, and let's type in the title. So the title is From Mars to Stars. Go to character as well and change this. So basically when you copy paste, Affinity tries to keep the text format from the website, so sometimes you get this. Now let's change the color. Let's try to put a white for the moment and create something like this. Then duplicate the layer. You right click on it and you go duplicate or Command J and select this. So something like this. I am going to go over my text here just because I want it to be centered. So if you bend the book more or less, imagine that you're bending the book. So you'll have this only as your image. So if we are going to reference, so if you go view, show rulers, and if we are going to grab, you know, and just put it here as a center, and trying to center it a bit, or something like this. And now when it's folded, you know that this text is going to be centered. Let's add another title here. From Mars to the stars. So I grab this handle to rotate it. And from here we're going to position it on the spine here. And we can move it above. Now we can add a color and we can make it smaller as well because it doesn't need to be too big. And right click, duplicate. Let's move it by Alex. Right. Click on it and just move it around. Let's put it here. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. Let's see if we can add some graphics. So do like this, but we also can apply a quick layer mask. We can go and click on the brush icon, and from here, if we click once on the top, we go below, and holding shift we can click below, and you see that it basically disappears. So we can use this as a guide. Click it once, and that's about it. I really hope you enjoyed this small tutorial. If you did, hit the like button and comment below if you have any more questions, and please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I try to post weekly this type of tutorials where I combine different elements and trying to show you how Affinity Photo works. Until next time, my name is Alex. Take care.